Hey, it's Megan. Welcome back to another Dollar Tree DIY video. This time I got some pumpkin ideas to share with you for fall or Halloween, and we are getting started right now. And for this first idea, all you need are a pack of Dollar Tree's 32-inch barbecue skewers. They also come in a 100-pack, and that's not what I'm talking about. Can't find them at Dollar Tree? No worries, my friend. Walmart sells them for about $1.15 or $1.25, just the same. Then you need one of Dollar Tree's wreath forms, and you're going to stab the skewers in the wreath form, spacing them out as evenly as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do the best you can. Then grab some tape. The type of tape doesn't really matter. I'm using masking tape, I believe, but literally any tape will work for this to tape the ends of your skewers together. Then you'll need about 1 to 2 bags of moss. I used a bag and a half, and all you have to do is hot glue your first bag or half of your first bag all over your cone. We're going to make a tree. So glue half the bag to the tree, but it'll still be sparse. Then I'm reusing all the pumpkins I've been hoarding all over the years from Dollar Tree, but you can use any type of pumpkins that your heart desires. And you're just going to glue that all over your cone tree. If I could go back again, I don't know if I would hot glue the moss first. I don't know if it really made a difference in my mind while I was making it. My theory was hot glue some moss down, then hot glue the pumpkins, and then fill in the gaps. I don't know. It worked out fine, but it maybe just be easier to hot glue the pumpkins, then go back and hot glue the moss all at once. Anyways, that is it. As you can see, it's a nice fall tree. I finally used up all these mini pumpkins I've been hoarding. Dollar Tree still sells them, but depending on what type of pumpkins you use or how large your pumpkins are, will depend on how many pumpkins you need. And for this next idea, all you gotta do is grab one of Dollar Tree's stackable pumpkins. I think they raised the price to $6 this year, those mean mamma jammas. But if you can't find pumpkins at Dollar Tree, no worries. Five Below sells these same size pumpkins. Grab some contact paper or vinyl or even tape, and you're gonna cut out a jack-o'-lantern's face. And then when you're finished with how your face looks, you're going to paint it. Now listen, you don't have to spray paint. I prefer spray painting. You just want to make sure whatever your paint is, it will bond to plastic. Now, I looked up online and did some research. Folk Art makes a made-for plastic paint. I've never used it, but it's about the same price as spray paint. I just don't know how many coats it would take to cover the pumpkins. Then you just need to use a really nice and sharp box cutter and cut out your jack-o'-lantern face. Now, I like to use scissors on top of a box cutter because it really freaks me out using the box cutter, and I just think you can get more precise cuts with a nice sharp pair of scissors. Then you're gonna go back with your second coat of paint. Once again, if you're hand painting, paint by hand. I like spray painting. And immediately after, while the paint's still wet, you're gonna sprinkle some black glitter on there. I actually got my glitter from a yard sale. Although I think it may be the cheapest using a coupon at Michael's. Anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to paint your pumpkin and then immediately after add the glitter, right? So you're going to paint one pumpkin, add the glitter, paint one pumpkin, add the glitter. And I really love the way this turns out because I usually do not like glitter. It is the worst crafting supply. In my personal opinion, it gets everywhere. It makes me itch, but it was worth it. I did this in my garage and I really like the texture it gives. In fact, it gave me an idea for Christmas, just the way this turned out. Now, you probably want to go back and seal it with some kind of clear spray paint. That's what I'm going to do. I make a lot of DIYs for friends and neighbors. I'm keeping this bad boy for myself. And we are on to the next one, my friend. This time, all you need is really any pumpkin, but I'm using one of Dollar Tree's standard foam pumpkins. You're going to paint it white. Then grab any one of Dollar Tree's decorative napkins. But here's a tip to the wise. Dollar Tree's party napkins, everyday year-round napkins, are still $1.25. For some reason, they think their seasonal napkins, which are made on the same paper and probably the same ink, are $1.50. So you can use wrapping paper or tissue paper too, just the same. Anyways, all you need to do is paint your pumpkin with Mod Podge and then go back over that Mod Podge with the same brush and just dip it in water to smooth out the wrinkles. So you're going to be wetting your paper. It's going to be really messy, but I promise this is how you're going to get the smoothest finish. Then you will need to cut down another piece of napkin, and you want to wait for your first piece to be slightly dry before adding your second piece of napkin. And that is it. It's not going to look pretty when it's wet. In fact, you're probably going to think like, what am I doing? This is a dud craft. I need to trash it. But I promise, once it's all dry, it looks good. You see what I'm saying? The wrinkles kind of smooth themselves out. It looks great. Then to finish this off, I'm using One of these pumpkins I bought from Dollar Tree a few years ago. They now sell them for $1.50, except they're a little bit larger. And then I'm also using a $3 pumpkin I bought a few years ago. Now here's the thing. So I went online to see if the prices were still the same for this. I'm not sure. So they have a $5 pumpkin, but I don't know if it's the same size or the larger size that I'm using. So all that to say, Walmart may be cheaper. Dollar Tree might still be selling these $3 pumpkins. I don't know. My local store didn't have them. Then use one of the longer skewers and stab that all the way through all 3 pumpkins. Optional, you can add some raffia. And that is it, my friend. This idea is done. Now, some side notes about this craft. Look, if you can't find any napkins that you like, gift tissue paper, I think I already mentioned this, but gift tissue paper is just as thin and works just the same. And while you're doing this, because I felt the same, I'm like, I've ruined this. This is going to look horrible. But once the Mod Podge dries, it does look good. So don't worry if it's looking super crazy. I promise it turns out great in the end. And I think Dollar Tree does have some bat napkins that would look really cute if you're into this style for Halloween. This next idea can be used for fall or Halloween, and how many pumpkins you need will depend on your style or your craft that you're making. Now, I'm doing it for Halloween, and I'm using 5 pumpkins. Once again, 5 pumpkins I've had for the longest time that need to be used up. I've already painted my pumpkins. You don't have to paint your pumpkins. You can leave them as is or paint them whatever color your heart desires. All you need to do, though, is cut your pumpkins in half. I'm spelling out trick or treat, so I picked up 5 pumpkins. You can use a stencil or freehand the letters if you're that talented, and then you're going to fill in your letters using puff paint. Y'all, puff paint is a great crafting supply that I often forget about, and I feel like it needs to be utilized more often. Anyways, I added glitter. I'm making this for a neighbor. She really wanted to glitter it up, but you can omit the glitter, and you're just going to apply the glitter while the puff paint is still wet. Grab 2 of Dollar Tree's MDF boards. You're going to paint it with Mod Podge and paint the back of your pumpkins with Mod Podge just the same. The reason we're not using hot glue is because it'll melt the foam, and I was worried how that would look. So yes, use Mod Podge or something else that will not melt foam. Also optional, you can add more glitter and glitter it up. Now, after I was done, this was a game time decision. I decided to go back and outline it with more puff paint using black puff paint. The only thing I don't like about puff paint is that it does take a minute to dry. So outside during a really bright and sunny day, it was like about an hour and a half and I felt okay to move it. But the night I started this, I left it inside and it took like 3 hours to dry under a fan, like a ceiling fan on high. So maybe that's a reason for you not to use puff paint. I just mixed some paints together and gave my pumpkin some dimension. And then now you can pick up some leaves from Dollar Tree. They sell black leaves for Halloween, but in the spirit of using what I have, I just took some old fall leaves I wasn't using anymore and painted them black. And you can do that with any of your leaves too. You could paint them orange if you wanted to. Then I hot glued the leaves to the back of the board. And that was it, my friend. I made trick or treat. I only added the stems back to 3 of the pumpkins. The last stem I cut in half to put at the top of the tees. Like I said, I made this for a neighbor. She's going to hang them on. She has 2 lights that flank her front door. I think it'll look great. She loves it. So because she loves it, I love it. I love that she loves it. And once again, you can customize this or kind of even get inspired for Christmas. I think you could do something with ornaments kind of similar to make it say Merry or Happy Holidays, whatever your heart desires. I hope you got some inspiration. Okay, this next idea is a fall idea, and you just need to grab one of these wood rounds from the old DT. This is still $1.25, hallelujah. And you're just going to paint it white. After that's done, I'm just using more of the fall napkins because I already had them. But remember, you can use gift paper, any napkins your heart desires, anything that's a thin tissue paper. Now, make sure you pull your napkins apart. They are 2-ply gift tissue paper. You won't need to do that. Then you just need to take a basic old regular glue stick, or you could use Mod Podge. I like using a glue stick first because I find it easier to use, and then go back over and seal it with Mod Podge. But you could use Mod Podge for both of these steps. Now, in order to get the cleanest, most professional looking cut, don't try to cut your paper beforehand. Wait till your Mod Podge dries. Then you're going to take sandpaper or a nail file, and you're going to swipe back and forth on your board, swiping away from the board or side to side, never swiping up because that could rip the paper off. Then just going through my old handy dandy fall craft stash. All of this stuff is from Dollar Tree. It's still sold at Dollar Tree. The only difference is I think you might get more in a bundle now. Okay. And that's what I'm using. Really, actually, I didn't know exactly what I was going to use when I first started making this. I knew about what I wanted to use. Then I'm not a great bow maker, but I can make a very basic 4-loop bow, and I can't explain it, but you can see what I'm doing, and that's the best I can do. If you want like really good bow making tips, I would suggest Oliva or Ramon At Home. I can have their channels linked in the description. Then I just took a raffia, made a bow, and then added the 2 dovetails at the bottom. And like I said, I just kind of went through, laid things down to see how I thought they might look with the burlap and the leather leaves. Once I had everything exactly how I wanted it, then I hot glued it down, secured it, so it was good to go. And I did make this for a neighbor. Now at the bottom, I was originally going to paint their last name, but I'm not good at freehanding, and I didn't have like really pretty stencils, and I don't have a Cricut or a Silhouette machine. So I did remember that years ago, Dollar Tree, and I'm not sure if they still do the exact same thing, but they sold these metal letters. It's like fall, harvest, thankful. I had one of those, and I painted it black, and I used gel super glue, which does have a really good hold, to glue that down. I think it looks great. She loves it. I'm glad that she loves it. And you know, obviously you could play with the colors and customize it to your own personal taste. And for this last idea, we're going to do something similar to the first idea to start with. You just need one of their stackable pumpkins. And remember, if you can't get the stackable pumpkins at Dollar Trees, no worries, because Five Below does sell them. And then you want to use permanent vinyl that they sell. This is still $1.25 at Dollar Tree. And you can cut out a more detailed design, because we're not cutting this out or painting over it. I mean, you could even cut out some bats or the letters Boo or your last name and stick it on there. Just make sure you use the permanent vinyl, and that is pretty much it. Now, I used one of Dollar General's $1 garden stakes. Hallelujah, Dollar General, still $1 for these. Stake that into the ground. I'm putting this in a corner of my yard that gets a lot of wind, so I'm scared it would blow away. And then I just wrapped some solar powered fairy lights I purchased at Walmart. They still sell them for about $12, I believe. And this is what it looks like. I love this because this is like the old school glow molds. I don't know if it's blow or glow, but the old school things you have for Christmas and Halloween. It's gorgeous. And once again, you can customize this to anything. It looks, I love it. I know it was simple. I hope that gave you some type of inspiration. Anyways, I got an entire playlist full of fall DIYs and videos. Also, side note, forgive me if my voice sounds a little bit off. I've been getting over a cold, but I wanted to get this video out before it was too late. In fact, I have another Halloween video that I need to get uploaded. I need to let my voice rest for at least 2 days, hopefully, before I can get that Mama Jamma out, and then it's on to Christmas. Hey, and that is it, my friend. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.